So the origin of the Kaiwharawhara stream name, or ko Tētahi origin, one origin, is that it was known that the species of Stelia banksii, or the wharawhara, was along the stream or along the awa, and that is a form of grass. And so this idea of the Kaiwharawhara would have been reflecting that it was a source of kai. But there are other stories related to that it could have also been, as a grass, would have been used for raranga or for weaving. It also could have been used for rongoa. Quite out there. That's the origin of that name that I understand. Back in the day, Ngāti Mutunga and Ngāti Tama would have had their pā site right close to the estuary, close to the moana, so right at the end of the awa or the stream. And so they are iwi from Taranaki, and they had their pā site at the bottom there, and so that's why it's culturally significant for Taranaki, because two of our key iwi were settled there. So I think that our obligations as Māori to exercise kaitiakitanga, or to be kaitiaki, it's not a choice, it's not an option, it's something that we have, an obligation that we have in accordance with our whakapapa. And we all do that in different ways. And one way that our rōpū are doing it is coming together as wahine Māori and exercising kaitiakitanga in respect of the awa, in respect of the Kaiwharawhara, or the Kaiwharawhara, if I was to use the Taranaki mita. And that's one way that we can connect to our whakapapa, to do what we consider is kaitiakitanga, and also to connect uri back to this space, because this is not an awa that even I knew about in terms of the significance for Taranaki when I first got involved. And it's been a beautiful journey for all of us in that respect, because one of our key goals for the rōpū is to connect other uri back to this space. One of the ways in which we can recognise an environmental or an environmental space or an ecosystem as a person, and that aligns more with tikanga, with our Te Ao Māori worldview, because we consider those spaces that we have whakapapa to as our whanaunga. We care about them like we would care for our kuia or kaumātua, and so the legal personality is a way of elevating, I guess, the status of the environmental space that we might be talking about, to be able to recognise it as a whanaunga. By exercising kaitiakitanga, we are respecting that mauri, and hopefully we're uplifting it. That's the goal. Because if you uplift the mauri, you recognise its mana, and that's really important for everyone that whakapapas to that space.
Mauri to me is, like you'll often see definitions in dictionaries say life force and things like that, which is true. It's a life force, it's a life energy, it's an alivedness. And so kind of looking at the mauri, the alivedness, if you like, for this instance in the stream, that's all part of our observation and monitoring work. We're looking at how alive and how healthy it is. So to me, if you're looking for the mauri of something, you're looking at its ultimate alivedness. Understanding its hauora has given me a very deep relationship. So we go into the stream at different areas of it and look at its health quite regularly. And what that's done is it's made me not only have a relationship with it, but once you've got that, you start caring very much about what's happening to it. What's happening in it and around it and who's doing it. I started thinking of it as like visiting an elderly aunt or an elderly grandmother. I don't know, I always default to it being a feminine energy, I don't know why, I just do. So I'm going to visit my elderly aunt or granny, and I'm checking on how she is at the top of her body, how she is down a bit further down her body and down at the feet of her body at the estuary. So I'm always looking for signs and conditions and just her well-being, really. And that's the power of this project, and the power of having a relationship with different things in the natural world, right? When you have that, you care very much about it because it becomes part of your whānau. What we're looking at is the length of the health of that water, and where are the hot spots, where are the trigger points that are affecting it so badly, and then the next set of questions is what's affecting it so badly, and then the next set of questions, what can we do to mitigate that or to improve it or to change it.